Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my friends from all over the world. Welcome. How is everyone? Well, today we have something very special lined up for everyone. Today we have a special guest speaker. Well, I call him special because I look up to this gentleman. I met him about 7 years ago. He's actually a mentor of mine. He's actually one of the 5 founding people who actually took this project on 10 and a half years ago. And today it's a global sensation. And not only that, but this guy has a heart of gold. Now, how many people do you guys know? Like truly you could raise your hand and say, I personally know someone who goes out of their way to help other people out in the world to become successful. There isn't many people, right? Most times successful people, they take care of themselves, that's it. But in this platform, in this project that he started, and it was all because of a few individuals who locked arms and supported other people and helped other people. So please help us, please help me welcome my dear friend, Mr. Samson Lee.
Hello, Vas. How are you?
I'm really well, Samson. How are you?
Good. Good to see you today. You're looking
Nice.
sharp. Nice
Thank you.
shirt. Fancy as usual.
I'm just trying to be like you, Samson.
Well, when I grew up, I want to be like you. Free spirit that had a lot of fun.
Exactly, right? Well, it's really about having good spirit, right?
That's right. I think, the human spirits, there's no bounds to it. So why not use it? Why not have fun, right? Why not enjoy life?
It's free, right?
Yeah, it's yours only, and it's free.
Well, good. Well, we have some exciting stuff going on. Today I know we had a conversation earlier. It's really about the mindset. That's to achieve not just success with money, but it's really about life, isn't it, Samson?
Yeah, definitely.
How important is the mindset to achieve the things that we all want in life?
Oh, it's very important. There you go. Now I got you on the same level as me. I can see it better. Yeah, no, in life, what I believe is that, if you were, I think we all have an opportunity to build the life that we want, regardless of where we come from. I mean, over and over again, you hear stories. I've heard stories from around the world where people come from nothing. And then they made themselves and they got better and better and better and better over time. So, I mean, hardly anybody does that overnight, but we could definitely create something that we want, in life, of life.
Oh, true. I mean, again, it's there are certain things that hinder us or stop us from having that mindset, right? To achieve everything that we want in life.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time it's our own mind, our internal dialogue that stops us from achieving what we want.
Right. So, what I have found, and I learned from some amazing people and also just from normal people as I observe people from all over the world, is that most of the people who succeed, they have a very positive mindset. They have a mindset that they set no limits. They have a mindset where they can overcome anything, or they don't even realize they have to overcome anything and just go do it. I've seen that also.
And that's true. I've met a lot of successful people. I know a lot of successful people like you, and I know there are people who I haven't met yet. They're successful. What is it about them?
That's a very good question.
That leads them to be successful. What is it? Is it whatever they're doing, or is it how they're doing whatever they're doing, or is it why are they doing what they're doing?
Very good, very good. So you just mentioned a lot of doing, but who we are is not. We are not what we do, or else we'll be called human doings instead of human beings. All right,
that's good.
So who we really are, I believe over time, most people lost themselves and they define themselves from what they do rather than from a point of view who they are. And so that also leads to the idea that if you want the mindset is, and success is an inside job. It's inside here. It's not outside. Mindset has nothing to do with what's outside of us. And a lot of people forget that because society or family or friends or television or our boss or coworkers uh, have taught us or have programmed us or have led us or create habits that to look outside for success. Sure, I mean, everybody been through it. I've been. I remember when I started making money, I had a pretty fancy watch. I went to buy one, right? And then one, and then after another one, after another one, then the fancy car, always. But at the end of the day, it didn't really define me. I mean, it's fun, but that's not who Samson is, for example.
So what you're saying, Samson, is success is not the material things that we chase after in life.
Yeah, it's very internal, inside job. Because most people don't spend time to think about it, but if you do, you have to think about why you do the things you do, part of who you are as a being. What comes out from you. Like if you compare, like many years ago when I lost a lot of money in the furniture business, the younger, the son, George Bush, was president. Now, we're not going to talk about politics today, but I just mentioned that maybe it's a common knowledge, okay? Just bring it as common knowledge that people said, oh, he's not that smart. But you know what? He was a B student, but he still got into one of the top colleges in the US, Yale, right? But what made him president? What made him so successful, even though he might not be the smartest one like Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton was a Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah.
He's Oxford. He's very smart, supposed to be. But what's the difference between, so obviously the only difference is physically we're all the same. 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, 1 nose, 2 ears, 1 mouth. Well, so what's the difference is all how we think internally. So the mindset is very important. The mindset is all about internal. Success is also about internal. What's inside you will show up on what's outside of you down the road. Okay, so that's what I found. So for example, you look at some of the most famous athletes in the world. Let's even just talk about athletes in the Olympics.
Yeah, let's talk about Michael Phelps.
All right, Michael Phelps, right? Yeah.
And I actually have a quote from Michael Phelps, and I want to read that too. So Michael Phelps is the most decorated Olympian in the world, in history. He has over 28 medals. This guy is phenomenal. He's brilliant. He's the top of the game, right? He's retired now. He said, you dream, you plan, you reach. There will be obstacles. There will be mistakes. But with hard work, with belief, with confidence, and trust in yourself and those around you, there are no limits. Michael Phelps.
Very nice. Very nice. I mean, he is the fastest swimmer. How many world records he made, right? Yeah. Those words are very precise. It seems very simple. We might have all heard it before.
Yeah.
But it's important, to look at each one of those words.
Yeah.
But if you look at what he said, the word failure is not there.
Not at all.
Right? And you talk about mistakes. Whose mistake? Our own mistake, right?
Yeah.
You talk about obstacle, overcoming. Well, who does that? We do. Yeah. Right? Also, you talk about, I don't know if you caught, those of you out there, if you caught that, he mentioned the people around us.
Yes.
So that's the formula. I mean, it's a very simple way to put it.
Yeah.
Because it does take a lot of hard work to overcome, to grow, right? I mean, very, very, very few people win the lottery. And that's not real success either. That's just having more money.
So when he said that people around us, what do you hear? Because I hear something amazing about that. For me, what I hear is surrounding myself with people who are always at a different level, actually higher than I am in their mindset, positive vibe, and not talk about what doesn't work, but what's to achieve, right? What's the why, like we talked about.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You got to have people who I've heard Mr. Les Brown say, if you're the smartest one in the room, you better get a in your group. If you're the smartest one in your group, you better get a new group. But definitely, you need people who, if you want to achieve, I know
Yeah.
many of you out there do. We have a lot of people logging in from all over the world.
Mhm.
And sorry, you cannot ask questions today. The chat's not on. But what I'll say is that at the end of the day, is about who you surround yourself with.
Mhm.
People who support you, people who are on the same mission.
Mhm.
So that, and people who take action,
Mhm.
and you do it with them, right?
Mhm.
And you have the mindset. So you will start to align in the same mindset. So that you can all stay focused. Your mindset stay focused on what you need to achieve.
Mhm.
Also, there is something. What do you call those? An anomaly
Mhm.
out there. It's very interesting. Now, some of you know, and some of you don't. Is that, for example, the metronomes? Metronomes. No, I play piano,
Uh-huh.
and we have this little machine on top of the piano going tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, right?
No.
So that's called metronome, tick
Mm.
tock, tick tock, tick tock, and that's how you keep the rhythm. But what's interesting is, if they've done experiments where they put like 50 metronomes on the
Mm.
same table, they're all
Mhm.
at different rhythm, different timing.
Got it. Got it.
Okay, it's crazy, right? It's like a
Mhm.
mess. 50 of them going, it's all over the place. But you know what? After a while, miraculously, they all move at the same time.
No kidding.
Have you seen that, boss? You haven't seen it, huh?
I have not, and I am gonna look for it.
Yes. So that's called the resonance phenomenon.
Well, I'm saying it. Say it one more time.
It's called the resonance
Resonance
phenomenon.
phenomenon. Got it.
Now, what does that relate?
Resonance. Got it. I'm gonna write
Resonance
that down,
phenomenon.
Samson.
Okay. So why does it relate? Because if you're around the same people, you feed off their energy, you feed off their attitude, you feed off the way they are, the mindset, the thoughts, the words, the expression, the vibe, the vibration that they exude.
Mm-hmm.
It rubs off.
Yeah.
So if you're around successful people, naturally the mindset you start to rub off. Your old mindset disappear because you don't have time. That the interaction with successful people,
Yeah.
your own mindset don't have time to come out to doubt. You have to tag along with the people that are moving so fast. You don't want to get lost.
Yeah.
So
Because the
that's how
conversations are different, right?
that's right. The conversations are different. The words are different. The tone is different. The volume is different. The energy, the excitement is different. You start changing your own mindset.
Yeah.
That's the resonance phenomenon.
Got it. Got it. And I could actually relate to what you're talking about. I believe we were, was it Vegas or Florida? We were out shopping, you and I.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, and we went to a watch shop. I'm very passionate about watches, and I know you are. And just by being with you, with the watches, I mean, I'm just using it as an example. Um, the watches you are looking at, the price points, were at a certain price point with where wasn't, I wasn't there till that visit, that conversation. So it's again being around someone who is taking the conversation to a different level. I just use the watch as an example, but it could be anything in life, right? To elevate that conversation from here to somewhere here where I had that disbelief, or I can't afford, or I can't see myself, right? And then I doubt myself. Then I tell myself I don't really need it. I have another watch, right? Instead, that looks good. I want one of those. So the conversation really elevated. So that's an example of what you're talking about, being around people who are that is a different mindset.
Well, I definitely want to say that nobody needs a watch nowadays. We all have the phone,
No,
the time on
exactly,
it.
exactly. Yeah,
So
exactly.
first, but the
Yeah.
second is, to what you were saying. Uh, I heard, I listened to Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
He taught the Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? So he tells a story about when he was making money already,
Mm-hmm.
and he likes to buy Ferraris.
Mm.
Okay. Now, most of you are out there thinking, "Oh no, I cannot afford it." I mean, it's an expensive car, right?
Yeah.
300, 400, half a million US
Mm.
dollar. It's a lot of
Yeah.
money. Okay,
Mm.
unless you get a used one, they get cheaper. But so there's a new Ferrari that's coming out. The dealer called Robert Kiyosaki, and it's like $750,000.
Mm.
Now, I don't care who it is. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So his wife was like, "Yeah, you don't need it. You know, we can't afford it now." But to Robert Kiyosaki, he was saying, "No, let's not think about that. Let's think about how I can afford it.
Mm.
How, instead of saying I can't, ask the question, how can I do it? How can I achieve it?" So the words we use are very important.
Yeah.
Very important, because that's part of the mindset.
Yeah.
So many times when I travel the world and I talk to business partners and I listen to the words they use, I already know the mindset. It's scary. So a lot of times, like for me, to create an ever evolving mindset, a mindset that moves us forward, I learn to block out anything that doesn't move my mindset forward. For example, it's very common that we get frustrated when we share the business with a product with other people and we get rejected, right? They say no, okay? Or they never give us an answer, right? It's very common. It's very
Sure.
common. But you know what? Instead of getting down ourselves and then thinking about what happened and reliving the negative energy, if it was that bad, you should completely stop. Go take a cold shower so you can forget about it immediately because you're shocked by the water.
Yeah.
Don't repeat that energy in your head. Don't repeat that. So I learned that when my team, maybe some new people, they start telling me the whole story from A to Z of how they got rejected, I say, once I knew within the first minute, I say, stop. You don't need it. I don't need it.
Yeah.
Let's forget about them.
Sure.
No, just go take a cold shower and get it out of your system, because it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Because once you start thinking about it, you relive those moments and emotion, and that drags your mindset down. You're going to move backward, because every time you say that, you are literally living in the past.
Mm.
You're living in the past. What happened is that when you have an emotion, when you are thinking about that instance, the same chemicals, the unhappiness, those chemicals that come out, the stress hormone, the cortisol comes out. And literally you're reliving those chemicals are coming out just like when you experience that event. So literally you're living chemically in the past. Your body's in the past when you have those thoughts about negative things. And so that's actually, and then also for people who have a lot of fear, afraid to talk to people, or afraid of what other people will say, or anything to do with fear. You're projecting into the future, which doesn't exist yet. And you are putting yourself in the future already, because it's been scientifically shown that whatever your mind cannot tell the reality of what actually happens versus your imagination. Your mind treats it exactly the same.
Got it.
So if you keep thinking about the past, negative stuff, you're going to be stuck in the past.
Yeah.
If you think about negative stuff in the future, you're stuck in the negativity. Your mind is literally experiencing that negativity. That's not even happening. That's something that you imagine.
Yeah.
So it's important, I think, maybe to know that you create your own mindset. Your reality is how you perceive things. It's subjective, actually. Your reality is subjective, because you only have 5 senses. I mean, physically have 5 senses. I'm not talking about other things, but you have physically 5 senses that send signals to your brain. Without those senses, your brain is in the dark. you know nothing. What you see, what you smell, what you hear, what you touch, what you taste, those are the five senses. So literally, it's all connected. Your senses connected to the brain. But your imagination also is part of what your brain experiences.
Got it.
So to create a positive mindset, you got to start by noticing the negativity in your thinking, in your thoughts, in the words. If you start to be aware of it, take note and ask yourself, where did that come from? You know, it's like anytime, I remember I went to a class and it's very practical. Is a gentleman called T. Harv Eker.
Yeah.
So he wrote the New York Times bestseller called The Secret to the Millionaire Mind.
Yeah.
That's right.
I love him.
Yeah. So in his class, he talked about that if you have some negative thoughts that come out, maybe from fear, it's generally your ego doing that. Your ego is trying to protect you. So all of a sudden, it's something unknown that you have to do. Your ego say, you can't do it. Anytime you notice that, imagine if it's yourself standing on your shoulder and just say, thank you for sharing and brush it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I want to talk a little bit about that as well, Samson. Now, I also have a belief about this, about the mind, right? Our conscious mind and the thoughts that prevail, the thoughts that it automatically comes out. I also believe that has a lot to do with the past experiences. For example, let's just say someone you introduced to the business, they said, no, it's not for me, this and that, or they called it, labeled it, whatever it is, right? So they have had an experience of that, a negative experience of it. I think what I see people have, they take from that is they take that negative energy. See, that person said it doesn't work because of this, this, and this. There's no validity there, but it's an experience somebody had, so people latch on. So it's almost like we're being enrolled in conversations that are not true, like you said. We just get enrolled in conversations. They said this, she said this, he said this. I think this is a very, it's a way to eat up that mind of ours to live in a different space.
That's right. That's a very good point, because that's a very common thing that people encounter in our business.
Yeah.
So what my advice is, first, what they experience is not part of your reality.
Yeah.
So whatever they say, don't take it, number one, do not take it personally. All right. But instead have maybe a little bit empathy for them,
Yes.
so that, you use the feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. If I were you, I would feel the same way. But that's not how it is, and then tell them then you share with them your reality, what you saw. Okay. Again, feel, felt, found, right?
Yes.
So you don't want to take on somebody else's mindset. Now, there are people out there and they're categorized as empath. So it's very easy. They're the type who's very easily can take on the energy of somebody else. If you're empath, if you're that sensitive, you take on somebody else's emotion very easily. You need to be careful. You need to be very careful. So how to combat that is, number one, know that the other person's reality is not your reality. They did not see what you saw in Jeunesse.
Yeah.
You see? So don't take it on. Second, so to be strong in your belief, you have to commit to why you're here in the business. Commit to why. I think, there's a very famous author, thinker, a thought leader. He's done incredible TED Talk, Mr. Simon Sinek. He has something called the golden circle, where the outer circle is what you do. The middle circle is how you do it. And the inner circle is why you do it. Okay, now what's the difference? Well, what does it mean? Well, how does it relate? When we go, let's say we go talk to people, we go networking, we go meet people. It's very common, besides your name. So what do you do? So it's a habit that we have, and
Sure.
in a sense, we program ourselves to be human doings
Mm.
instead of human
As in
beings.
beings.
Yes. So yeah, of course, we're trying to maybe relate to them, right? But maybe instead, give them some compliment. Instead of asking what they do, give them some compliment
Mm-hmm.
to relate. So you have some kind of connection on the same vibe.
Mm-hmm.
There's in India or Hindi, right? What do they say a lot? Namaste.
Namaste.
So namaste means I see the light in you. Yeah, look for the positive stuff. You don't have to connect by what they do, but who they are.
Yeah.
And so then you go back to, why are you here? Why, in terms of the business, why are you here on this platform? Right? Why you do what you do? Why you live where you are? What gets you out of bed every day?
Mm-hmm.
What gets you excited to get out of bed every day? Are you living your why? I mean, a lot of people, they want to have a good life,
Mm-hmm.
but what does that mean? See, like, what comes to mind, Vas?
Mm-hmm.
It's very, if you search for inspirational words on Google and you
Sure.
click images, there's some of them have the word and then many other smaller words around it. That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. I see that
A
often.
lot of people don't do that. It can be a very powerful exercise. For example, instead of maybe just one word and then mess around it, you can build a pyramid where you put the word. Let's say you want, let's say you have some reasons why, you some goals that you want to achieve, and you want to find out why you want to achieve it, right? So, for example, Vas, why are you in Jeunesse?
Well, for me, I truly believe it's I have the opportunity to share something that I believe is the greatest story that's ever been told in this industry, where average person like me, right, can start something, not just necessarily for the money part of it, Samson, where I could share something for the others to achieve what they want. So it's not it's not about me. It's really about what's in it for them. So I think that's where when you say when we meet people, we're too busy talking about ourselves. And people don't care about ourselves.
Yeah,
They want to know how much you care about them.
that's right. So then, Vas. So again, my question is, why are you here?
I'm here because I want to be able to share with other people that may be dealing with things that I have dealt with in the past, or blocks in the way, haven't achieved what they want. And
Okay.
it's a common theme, meaning that the commonality. Oh yeah, well he has not always been successful. He's had these thoughts also. He's had negative thoughts. He's had people around him who said he couldn't do it. So yes, I've evolved from that because I take my game to another level by being around people like you, Samson, and I'm able to share that with others. Because
Mhm.
if it's not me sharing, who else is going to share something that may be a positive vibration for another person, or for them
Great.
to achieve what they want?
Okay, so from what I hear,
Uh-huh.
one of the reasons why you're here is that you like helping people because you've
Yes,
been an entrepreneur.
yes,
Okay, so why you're here? For example, we can write the word on the paper at the top,
helping
helping
people.
others,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Okay, so then the question is, why do you like to help others?
I like to see the joy in, for example, if I'm traveling, if I'm able to share something with someone and they're able to also travel or do the things that they like to do, maybe not be traveling, whatever it is that they want to achieve for themselves, I see that joy in them. It's like, wow, the life is so simple now because so many things that are in the world today that's against people, right? With the virus to all kinds of different things that are just coming down on people. So if I'm able to put a smile on someone, say, "Oh, you know what? Yes, I can achieve this. I can see light at the end of the tunnel." That gives me joy because those are people in my sphere of influence, or they might be people that they could touch other people.
Okay, so from what you say,
Mm-hmm.
the reason why you like helping others
Mm-hmm.
is because those moments
Mm-hmm.
where other people um, learn something
Mhm.
that helps them change maybe their life or the way they are,
Sure.
maybe some
Their
information
mindset.
that you can share
Yeah.
that improves their lives
Hmm.
and gives you joy.
Sure. Totally. Totally. Yeah.
Okay. So what else? Why you want to have that joy?
Well, so what it does again,
Go
if that
deeper.
one,
Go
if,
deeper.
yeah. So if that one person, let's say someone that I know, let's say a family member, right, and they have that joy, where else can that go to? What about the people in that household, for example, their children, right? What if they see a parent? My goodness, my parent, my father or mother is they're happy now, they're joyous, they're able to provide,
Mm-hmm.
and the kids see this.
Mm-hmm.
The kids, their future is not going to be we don't have, or we don't do this, we're lacking this, because what they see at that point is my parents did this for us. We saw them working hard. I want to do the same thing. I want to work hard, provide for my family. So it's that ripple effect. It's like when you toss a pebble into the water, into a lake that's calm, and you see the ripple effect, right? It just goes and goes and goes. So I want that to take place. So I'm
Okay.
sharing things, the mindset of the things that I learned from you, Samson, and other people, to be able to share with others, so they actually in turn does the same thing. So I
So
yeah, go ahead.
so in a way, you're saying that you like helping other people,
Mm,
and you enjoy the moments where you can give them knowledge
mm,
or information that can improve their lives,
sure.
that brings you joy, and you know because through a platform
Uh-huh.
it can multiply
Yeah.
through many other people
Around the world.
around the world.
Around the
Okay.
world.
And what does that do for you?
Well, see, there's so many things, like I said, there's
Yeah, so
so
what
much
does that do for you?
for me, it brings me more
Yeah.
joy. It brings me more joy. Because
All right.
knowing that knowing that I touched someone's life, okay, not monetary compensation, but to see the joy for themselves, right?
Uh-huh.
I think most, well, okay, so let me continue. So then I see that in turn, the ripple effect. They in turn does something that can support
Right.
themselves,
Paying
and
it
the
forward.
people, yeah, paying it forward, yeah, people around them. So here now you have an area of people who gets touched by this opportunity. For example, we're talking about opportunity, right? What can that do for other people? And you being involved with this venture, with this project for the last 10 and a half years, I know you've seen thousands of people who you indirectly touched because of a conversation you had with one person, and that person had a conversation with someone else, that person had a conversation with someone else.
Yeah.
I think that's what's brilliant, because we're too busy about ourselves and not really about what can I provide, what can I share with someone that makes a difference for them.
Well, and at the same time, it's a business you can make money, right?
Of course, I mean, they say so. We need money to survive, right? To live life, to eat, to pay the bills, to travel, to do this. Oh, we don't need it, but it helps, right? I once heard you could have problems with no money, or you can have problems with money. What would you choose, right? Yes, we all have problems, but if it's better to have a little bit of money with problems than not have any money. So yeah, so the opportunity provides the monies to do what is that you want. You know, here, a statistic in the U.S., they say that 50% of divorces happen because of lack of money in the household. Alarming here in the U.S.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, I think it's everywhere in the world.
but here, that's a statistic here in the
Okay.
U.S.
Yeah, I was
Again,
just gonna say I want to throw that money word out there because I know you light up to talk about money.
well, again, it makes life easier.
Hmm. So easy life.
Um, life can be whatever you want it to be, with or without money. You can be happy or successful,
Yeah.
right? And I think whatever it brings you joy,
Mhm.
and you may not need that money. You may be happy by providing an opportunity for someone, or they can have a better life for themselves and their family.
Well, that's definitely part of the winning mindset about finding why you do what you do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like Michael Phelps, you were mentioning earlier, the most famous swimmer, world record holder,
Sure.
the Olympic athlete that has the most medals
Gold
ever.
medals. And, yeah. 28.
Yeah, he has a winning mindset,
Yeah.
and it's interesting. We were talking earlier this afternoon about what we're going to share today.
Uh-huh.
And I mentioned, there are people like Michael Phelps,
Mm-hmm.
like Michael
Michael
Jordan,
Jordan. Yeah.
Muhammad Ali,
Mm-hmm.
right? You gotta name some women here too.
Serena Williams.
Well, there you go, Serena Williams,
Yeah.
right? And very
Billie Jean
special
King.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe I want to share this thought out there, and maybe those of you who know who those people are, maybe those people at a particular time they realized how special they are. And it's not about ego, but they realize that. And they put themselves in a position where they can do a lot more for others.
Mm-hmm.
And they became bigger as a person, bigger than what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They really become who they are over time. Like one of the quotes I shared on Facebook today was from Muhammad Ali.
Mm-hmm.
I did a talk about him.
He's the most famous athlete in the world. Muhammad
Ever,
Ali.
right?
Yeah.
Right? Ever, right?
Ever.
No, that's right. So a lot of people, I mean, nowadays in the US or actually around the world, people are very sensitive to the race issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk about politics.
Yeah.
But Muhammad Ali became well known in the 60s. Now, in the 1960s in the US, that's when all the civil rights unrest was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And people like Martin Luther King protested peacefully.
Oh.
People like Malcolm X called to people to form their own militia, Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
There are other people. Actually, it was very tumultuous. It was very crazy time.
Mm-hmm.
But Muhammad Ali came about at the time. But very few people knew that, or his story when he was young. He was encouraged to go into boxing by actually a white police officer.
Mm.
So it's not stereotype. No, there is no stereotype. I think to be honest, no, for me, my opinion, it's just my opinion, is that, whenever we get caught in group think and a group judgment, it's bound to be wrong.
Yeah.
Because we're all about individuality. Okay. Mm-hmm. There are good people and bad people everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So Muhammad Ali, though, when he was young, he competed, he won the gold medal, and then he became the world champion. But he used his platform to speak about peace, to raise awareness to different issues, he went to Africa to share with people about how poor it was. He talked about civil rights, and I have dug up a lot of stuff on YouTube where he used his success to talk about other issues where it impacted him directly. Not something that he's never experienced, but those things impacted him directly. Yeah. So in a sense, he as a person, human being, was much bigger than boxing. And that's why it kept him going. Even though, because athlete, your body can only last so long. You can only compete competitively for so long. But he had a legacy. Yeah. Right? So he said, I want to read the quote today, because if we were going to have a winning mindset, this quote is powerful. He said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit, suffer now, and live the rest of your life as a champion." Quite motivation. Yeah. He told himself he was the greatest even before he was the greatest.
Yeah.
right? I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. Remember that?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he knew how to work on his mind. I think some of the most successful athletes, that's what they do. Why are they like people who play basketball in the NBA? If you make it to the NBA, you are already best of the best of the best.
Yeah.
But how to be the best of the best?
Mm-hmm.
How do somebody become like Kobe, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson? How do you do that? Because they outwork everybody. They have the mindset that, you talk about like younger players, okay? They are more gifted athletically than the older players. But the older players, they have a better mindset
Yeah.
of the game, about the game, about themselves and their ability, about the team than the younger players. That's why, and they mature, and that's why the older players play better, even if they're less physically gifted than the ones right out of college or young ones.
Well, I have a perfect quote to share with you. This is perfect timing for that. This is Michael Jordan, who I believe is one of the greatest ever greatest basketball players in history of the game. So he says, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed it. I failed over and over again in my life. That's why I succeed. Michael Jordan.
Powerful.
Very, right? It goes to what you're saying when you have a conversation with someone, or what Michael Jordan's saying is, I've attempted so many times. I have so many failures. If I didn't take that next shot, how would I be more successful? It relates perfectly to our conversation, right? With this platform.
Yeah.
What if you don't talk to that one person? I mean, there's so many scenarios like that. One person, it's not the person that you know, right, Samson? It's the people they lead you to.
That's right.
But people give up too early.
Yeah.
They achieve what they want to achieve.
Yeah. See, I always say we don't know what we don't know.
Mm-mm.
But, coming to where I am today, looking back, if I knew how much money I would have made today, I have made today, or if I knew the journey I was on, I'm like, maybe I should have worked harder at the beginning so I make it happen faster.
Yeah.
Some people would say, oh, you can talk because you made it. Well, let me tell you, I think for most people who have made it, they have the same attitude from the very first day, the same mindset. Failure is not a word that we use. If you want a winning mindset, the word failure should never come out.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it should never come out. When we were working, I think if I can break it down for the people out there, looking back, I had a lot of reflection. When we first started, we don't know any better. Just go do first. Put people in the system, share some information. Don't explain too much. Let the presentation explain for you. And then work with your sponsor or your leader to help them talk for you, to answer the questions, overcome the objection, and then sign up, repeat the process. Seems so simple, but you know what? It is simple. So the more you do, the better you get.
Mm-hmm.
But also the more you do, the more people will say no, but the more people will also say yes, right? So over time, we started that. I hit Sapphire in 3 months. I sponsored 20-something people, but I was still almost the only one working. So I sponsored another 20. I was making very good, steady income, better than most people at a job. When I sponsor about 50-ish, 60, I was at Ruby. So when I sponsor another 10 to 20, I was at Emerald. And then the team just exploded, all over the world. Not because of me, because of the team. But that process, the mindset is that, you know what? Let me just put it to work over and over and over again. You got to learn the foundation. So you got to learn the business. You just can't do the business without learning it. So just follow the simple things that need to be done. Peak interest, invite, know how to do edification, to put people into the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
and overcome the objection with your sponsor or leader, the better,
Mm-hmm.
because you can learn faster that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because the question is, if you have, let's say, if you had to read a book to learn the whole business, would you like to take 10 years, or would you like to take 3 months or 1 month?
1 month.
That's right. So the more you do, the more you learn, the faster, the better results you will get.
Yeah.
So there is a way. The mindset, though, has to be very clear, because mindset is different than skill set.
Yeah.
But your mindset is that you have to recognize, it's almost black or white. In any business, there's some things you have to do
Mm-hmm.
to create business, to make money. So you know what? Your mind needs to be ready to learn. It needs to be open to and coachable, because not everything is transferable from another business to this business, right?
No.
No, because for me, for example, I was in real estate. I was in the retail business. I was in the auction business. But I realized when I got into this industry, I didn't know how to do any marketing. I didn't know what that was, even though I actually took marketing classes in school. But to put it into practice, I had no idea. So the mindset of always learning and practicing, and the more you do, the faster you learn, the better results you would get sooner. Everybody's journey is different, but we are always, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier, one person away from explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Your next Yvonne Yen, your next Kim Hui, your next Samson Lee, your next Vas, your next whoever, Chloe, the next Lisa Wang, they could just pop up anytime.
Yeah.
So even me, I don't know enough to make a judgment on anybody if they're going to be diamond or not.
Yeah.
It's not up to me. So why judge, right? There's a saying. I heard Dr. Wayne Dyer said, if you judge me, you negate me.
Mm.
That means if you judge something, you put it in a box and you disregard everything else that the rest of the potential that it could be. So it's important that the most important thing in terms of judgment, you got to stop judging yourself. Really? Because
I think that's where most people get stopped, because we judge ourselves. Right?
Why, you have something to share?
Yeah, well, I'm saying is because we enter that internal dialogue.
Yeah.
We keep talking to ourselves that it doesn't work. Whatever it is in life, right? Maybe not this business, but whatever it is. And if we tell ourselves enough that it's not going to work, it's not going to work. But if you focus on that, why am I doing this? Right? To bring joy to myself by sharing with other people. If I continue that and focus on just on that, that's where the right people show up, because people are they're going to actually be gravitate towards you, right? Samson, you've seen that. I've seen that many times, Samson. You're at a big event. All these people just surround you. It's like, wow, that's magic. It's because who you are for them. When you're on stage, you're talking to someone that cares, the concern for them, and that you're willing to do what others aren't willing to do. And it's even in this business, right? If you do what others aren't willing to do for a short period of time, you could live like others can't live for the rest of your life.
Very nice. Very nice. That's a very powerful point. I think, the judgment, the self-judgment, we talk ourselves out of it. That's why most people stop. They stop pursuing what they really want.
Yeah.
They don't give themselves the opportunity. They talk themselves out of it.
Yeah.
And all of you out there, you can think about how you talk yourself out of good things all the time.
Yeah.
In our platform, look, if somebody's making money, that means it can be done. The question is how. So tonight we're talking about the mindset.
Yeah.
You got to be open. If you're judgmental toward yourself, it's hard to change. It's a pattern, but you can turn that energy into productive energy. If you judge yourself, see yourself, who's to say I cannot do it? I'm going to find a way to do it. How can I do it? Is the question, like Robert Kiyosaki. How can I afford that $750,000 Ferrari? It's not a matter of I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask the question, how?
How? Yeah.
The word how brings in the inspiration, brings in the idea. If you
Sure.
don't know, ask somebody, how can I
Yeah.
do it? How? Asking question it's one of those things that most people never thought that can lead them to success.
Mm.
By asking the right question.
Mm.
Look, the nosier you are,
Mm.
more you might find out, and the more you
Yeah.
might know. The
So
better it is.
there is that structure that we're talking about, right? How? So how when someone gets involved in this platform and this journey, how? So they take those steps by being here, first of all, to learn about mindset, from learning about someone like you, Samson, that has been through and created the success for yourself and others. It's that process, right? It's from learning from others. What else can I learn? There are YouTube channels, Kim Hui, USGS official channel. I believe these are ways that people can learn. So there are a step-by-step process. That's where the structure is. That's where the how is. We
That's
already determined what the why is. This is the how.
Yeah,
Most
why
people,
and how are probably some of the the two of the most important words
yeah,
you can use. Why are you here? Why
yeah.
this? Why that? Why that? And then how do I do it?
Mm.
Those things are very important for the mindset because because your motivation doesn't come from me or Vaz. Okay, for those of you out there,
No.
it comes from within yourself. Why you are here? Why you do the things you do? And how did you get here? Well, you know what? If you want to change tomorrow, forget about the past. Do the things so you can move in that direction for the tomorrow that you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the most important things.
Yeah.
Always stay positive. Your potential is much more than what you realize or what you
Mm.
know. Okay.
That's brilliant you said that, because there are certain people that I have a bigger belief in than them themselves.
Yeah.
That
And
sabotage, right?
yeah, that's interesting. I think for me, even instead of maybe on a scale of little belief to big belief,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just decide. Do I believe in myself or I don't believe in myself? Just make it binary.
Yeah.
But you know what? Which one is better? Believe in yourself is much better.
Sure.
And make that instead of 10%, 50%, make that 100%
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
No, let's go for it. Let's do it. A little thing. Okay, for example, okay, I tell you, recently, I was on a road trip and I was traveling in Utah in this place called Valley of the Gods.
Okay.
So I'm at the top of the canyon in my big SUV, huge
Yeah.
SUV, my Lincoln Navigator.
Yeah.
I'm driving and I'm approaching the road to go down the side of the canyon.
Mm.
Now, the canyon going down, it looks pretty high. It looks like it's about 1,000 feet down. Okay, it's like the Grand Canyon, the tip and then boom, straight down,
Yeah.
right? It's like that, except there's a road on the side of it, right?
Yeah.
You got to kind of squirrel your way down. But the interesting thing is, as I approached that road, it was under construction. It was a dirt road. And there
So
were dump trucks coming up and down the road.
And you have to maneuver around these guys.
Well, pretty much. If you're off the road, you go straight down the cliff. Now, so like I asked myself, I'm a little bit afraid of heights. Because you're like 1,000 feet down, right? You're going,
Sure.
that's the edge of the road, okay? So of course I'm not gonna drive to the edge of the road.
Yeah.
So what am I gonna do to overcome it? How am I gonna get down with this fear? It might take me a long time to get down. I don't know how long this road's gonna go down. It might be a few miles going very slow to get down. So how do I overcome that fear? So having the mindset, the winning mindset, I said to myself, okay, how? Why am I afraid? How do I overcome it? Why? Why am I afraid? I already know that fear, it doesn't exist. It's something we put on ourselves. I said, okay, forget about the fear. But of course, the feeling is there, right? Your heart is pounding, right? The adrenaline is going, right? I'm almost off the cliff, right? So instead, okay, I think of how. I say, you know what? I know from studying many things that fear or stress, you have a hormone that comes out called cortisol. But what can counter that? Your cell have a receptor for the cortisol. It's like a key, it goes in, and your cell's in fear. That's how you experience fear. So how to counter that? is a different hormone, something called DHEA. It's positive. So, but you know that hormone actually goes into the same receptor in your cells.
Mm-hmm.
So that means it could literally replace the stress hormone. So how to get that? How do you know how to get that, Vas?
I don't know. I'm anticipating because I'm
So
ready to take.
here's a little for those of you who want to overcome fear. You know what you do. So what I did was, I had a couple of people in the car. I was laughing and joking with them the whole way down. That makes DHEA. And before I know it, I was at the bottom. I was at the bottom. See? So sometimes you figure that most people say, oh my God, you know, it's 1,000 feet down. I don't want to fall. I don't even want to go down that road, but there's no other way down. How are you going to get down? That was one of those cases. I don't know. There's no other way down.
Yeah.
So instead, though, asking why and how, you can actually free yourself. That's one of the characteristics that I found. I mean, I think I probably can write a whole book on it, a chapter.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that people who know, who are successful, who are winners, they use that to overcome.
Yeah. I think another thing about that is I wanted to touch on is that fear stops them from going all out in life. Well, let me just put a toe in the water to see if it's warm enough instead of just jumping right in.
And that's the thing. You know what? People who join our platform, why they don't succeed? Because they put their toe in the water and never jump in. You can't win unless you're in the game. That's it. You know, it's like, you know, Isaac Newton, you know, every action has a reaction. Mm-hmm. So if you put your toe in, you're going to get that kind of result. Very little.
So again, it's that fear.
That's right. It's a fear that keeping you going in. So, but instead you jump in, you know, 100% commitment, all out, even for a short time, commit to it. That will get you result, no matter how big or how small, but that will get you result, you know, and you put a lot of energy. If you put great energy into it, you'll get a lot of result. You know, I learned from Mark McDonald, he said, you know, good energy, it gets no result. Good, better energy, it gets little result. Great energy, you get massive result. That's how it has to be. You got elevated. So the mindset, you know, everything comes from your mind, the spirit, you know, the attitude, right? The excitement, the energy, literally, that you put into whatever you do. Other people can see it, right? And that's how you make a difference. It's not about what you say, it's how you say it. That's the part that makes a difference. If you can even write it down to choose the right word, plus the energy that you use to express it to other people, you will catch their attention every single time.
And all this is on training on YouTube, on USGS official channel. Yes, and Kim Hui. Yes, that's definitely. Right. Yeah. So Samson, we're coming to the end of our session. I know we went past a couple of minutes. What is something that you could say to people who are here for the first time or repeat visitors who are here about the mindset, what you talked about? In closing, what is something that could be said to have people achieve what they want as far as not just in this business, but in life?
Yeah. Well, if you're here for the first time, congratulations on starting your entrepreneurship, your new business. I would like to say to everybody is that you are greater than who you think you are. You have no idea, because I've seen the impossible become possible through this platform, not because of the platform, because of the individual, their mindset, their desire, their hunger, their love for themselves and for their family, their pain, that they're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. They want to change, the desire to change. You know, the desire to want to have control, to be empowered about their life. Now, I've seen that happen. The impossible become possible. You are greater than who you think you are. All this is probably not even real. What is real is only maybe your consciousness of how you go about things, how you live life. So, and if you align that with your heart, you know, the physicalness, the emotions, you can all control it. Absolutely. You can all overcome, you can all grow. A matter of you can or can't, or I will and how. So that's the only difference. So I encourage all of you that, just treat yourself better. Less judgment on yourself. Don't waste time on the negative things. And every day, every action, every thought, move forward. After a week or two, it will become a habit. Wouldn't you like to have a habit of every day having breakthroughs, having develop yourself, improving yourself in what you say and how you act, the whole presence of you? That's what's going to build your business in a way that I can't teach, but only you through your mindset. Always learn, always be around the people that you want to be like. Then you will get there faster than you think. So blessings, everybody.
Thanks so much, Samson, for your time and your knowledge and your experiences that you shared with people. And for those of you who are here for the first time, get back to the person who invited you to the webinar, and they'll explain how to get started. So thank you so much for being here and your time. Good morning to my friends in Asia. Good afternoon and good evening to my friends in the Americas, and early morning to my friends in Europe. So thank you so much, and we'll see you at the next event. Bye-bye.
If you see something for yourself, get back to the person who shared this video with you. And don't forget to subscribe to the official USGS YouTube channel to receive future videos.